Hello friends, how are you? I hope your studies are going well. Welcome to the second video in our geography series. I have already covered the basics of geography in my first video. If you have not watched this video, then please go and watch this video because in this I have explained the subfields of geography that we are going to study. The subfields like geomorphology, climatology, hydrology, soil geography, etc. etc. Right? So today we are going to start with the second video, and in this video we are going to understand what is the process that led to the origin and evolution of universe, and what is the process through which the stars and galaxies are formed. Now you might be wondering, why are we studying science and tech topic in a series dealing with geography? Now, the answer is very simple. To understand the Earth in detail, we need to first understand how the solar system came into existence. And to understand how the solar system came into existence, we need to understand how the universe itself came into existence and how the universe evolved from that point in time. So, let us understand all of these things in this video, and let us start with the video. If you want to understand any unknown phenomena, anything which we are not completely aware about or we were not there to witness, for example, the origin and evolution of the universe, then we have to make use of theories. Theories and models help us understand the unknown phenomena. We devise theories and then we try to find out evidence for those theories. And once the evidence is collected, we can use that evidence to prove the theories. For example, Newton's theory of gravity was later proved, and Einstein's theory of general relativity was not proved when he gave the theory for the first time, but later evidence was collected for that and the theory was proved. Right? So similarly, to understand the origin and evolution of universe, there have been many theories which have been proposed. The most important and accepted theory of the universe is the Big Bang theory. And I'm sure you must have heard about it since your childhood and must have read about it. So we are going to study in detail what is Big Bang Theory and how the evolution of Big Bang Theory happened. Let us understand the theory of Big Bang with a simple story. A famous astrophysicist in America named Edwin Hubble was trying to understand the mysteries of the universe. He was very much intrigued by the various components present in the night sky, and he wanted to understand how all of these have come into being. So his quest led him to do the research for 2 to 3 decades. After this intense research for 2 to 3 decades, he stumbled upon two very significant discoveries, and these two discoveries changed the course of history as well as physics forever. What were those two discoveries? Let us understand them one by one. The first most important discovery of Edwin Hubble was that before Edwin Hubble, we were under the impression that there is only one galaxy in the universe, and solar system and other such star-based systems are located in that one galaxy. And that galaxy was Milky Way galaxy, right? But Edwin Hubble observed the universe, and after observing for 2 to 3 decades, he discovered that these faint looking objects in sky, which we thought were some heavenly bodies, are nothing but galaxies. So he said universe is not made up of one galaxy but billions of galaxies. And this was a revolutionary discovery because it changed the field of astrophysics forever. Now, what was the second discovery of Edwin Hubble? Edwin Hubble, after observing the position of different galaxies for 10 to 20 years, discovered that the space between these galaxies is increasing. And after analyzing many galaxies, he made his second discovery, and that was expansion of universe. He said, as the space between two galaxies is expanding, it means the whole universe is expanding. And this expanding universe discovery was very, very important because this was the basis upon which the theory of Big Bang based. So, what were the two important discoveries made by Edwin Hubble? One, he said that there is not one galaxy but billions of galaxies in a universe. And second, he said that universe is not static but it is expanding. The space between galaxies is increasing. The discoveries made by Edwin Hubble intrigued and inspired many other astrophysicists to go into detail and understand how the universe actually began. One of those astrophysicists was Georges Lemaître. He was a Belgian astrophysicist and he wanted to understand the origin of the universe. So he took the help of the second discovery made by Edwin Hubble. And what was the second discovery? Expanding universe. Georges Lemaître conducted a thought experiment based on the second discovery. Georges Lemaître said that, okay, if universe is expanding currently, then if we go back in time, if we time travel, then we might find that universe had started from a particular point before it started expanding. He said, if we go back, let's say 1 billion years, then universe might have expanded till this point. If we go back 5 billion years, then universe might have expanded till this point. If we go back 10 billion years, then universe might have expanded till this time. If we keep on going, then 13.8 billion years ago, universe must have been confined in this tiny spot called singularity. And this was the first part of the thought experiment conducted by Georges Lemaitre. What was the second part of his thought experiment? Georges Lemaitre said, if the universe 13.8 billion years ago was confined in this singularity, then it must have had intense pressure and extremely high temperature. Why there was intense pressure and extremely high temperature? Because imagine all the matter that you see around now is condensed and compressed in a single tiny dot. The kind of friction and pressure it will create. So he said 13.8 billion years ago, because of this intense pressure and heat, this tiny singularity exploded, and he called this explosion as Big Bang. And he said universe must have started from this explosion, and from then on universe must have started expanding in every direction, and he said this is the expansion that was discovered by Edwin Hubble. Now mind you, this was just a thought experiment. There was no evidence in the hands of Georges Lemaitre to prove his thought experiment. Two important discoveries were made which actually helped in understanding and explaining the Big Bang theory. And those two important discoveries were redshift and cosmic microwave background radiations. These two discoveries are very important. If you do not know what these are, then please Google and try to understand. So, this is how the evolution of Big Bang theory happened, and these two evidences help us understand the Big Bang theory. Apart from these two evidences, we have been trying to probe further in order to understand what actually happened and how the Big Bang happened and what events took place after that. And one of the steps taken in this regard was recently James Webb Space Telescope was sent by NASA to study the faint radiations that emerged after the Big Bang. So this is all about Big Bang. But as I told you, Big Bang was just a theory till we discovered some evidence for that. However, there are many other theories that are trying to explain the evolution of the universe, and one such theory is the Big Bounce theory. This is given in a book called White Holes, written by Italian astrophysicist named Carlo Rovelli. He says that the events which have happened after the Big Bang are correct, but he disagrees with the very event of Big Bang. He said nothing like Big Bang or Big Blast happened from where the universe started expanding. He says all the matter that we see around actually came out of a different type of holes, and they are called as white holes, which are exactly opposite of black holes. What is Big Bounce and what is this and what is this theory is all about? If you want to understand, then please Google. It is a very interesting theory and you will enjoy reading it. Now, after having understood what is Big Bang and how the evolution of Big Bang happened and how the universe began, now let us turn our focus to understanding how the stars and galaxies formed. Now, can you tell me what is a galaxy? Galaxy basically is a collection of different components which make up the universe, right? And galaxy also contains a lot of gases and cosmic dust. Gases mainly hydrogen and helium. Cosmic dust means tiny solid particles which make up the universe, right? So this is what galaxy is. And what are the components of galaxy? A galaxy consists of black holes, stars, planets, comets, meteorites, asteroids, cosmic dust, and other such heavenly bodies. But the most important component of a galaxy is stars. Now let us understand how stars are actually formed. So as I told you in the beginning of the video, if we are not aware of any phenomena, then we make use of theories or hypotheses. Similarly, to understand the formation of stars, we have many theories. One of the most accepted theories with respect to formation of stars is nebular hypothesis. Now, what is nebular hypothesis? To understand this, let us go back to the Big Bang. After the Big Bang, matter came out of singularity, but the matter was not uniformly distributed in space. For example, if you take a bucket of sand and throw it from, let's say, 10 meters height, what happens? Does that bucket of sand falls uniformly on the floor? No. At some place there will be more sand, and at some place there will be less sand, and at some place there will be no sand. So similarly, when Big Bang happened, matter came out of that singularity and it was spread into the space. However, the matter was not spread out uniformly. At some places there was more collection of gas and cosmic dust, and at some places there was less collection of gas and cosmic dust. So these collections of gas and cosmic dust is called as nebula. So this is the meaning of nebula. And nebula is actually the place where formation of stars happened. Now let us understand how nebula helped in the formation of stars. One of the main forces which helped in the formation of stars was gravity. So as I told you, after the Big Bang, matter was not spread out uniformly. At some place there was more matter and at some place there was less matter, right? Now what happens? Gravity is basically what? It's an attraction force, right? And how gravity comes into action? When wherever there is mass or matter, there is gravity. For example, Earth has mass or matter, there is a gravity. Moon has mass or matter, Moon also has gravity. Right? So similarly, these nebulae which were formed after the Big Bang, they also had gravity because they had mass. And what was that which gave them mass? Gas and cosmic dust. So what happened? The bigger nebulae started attracting smaller nebulae towards them, and through this the bigger nebulae started eating up smaller nebula. As this process went on, nebulae grew in size. So nebula started eating up the smaller nebulas, and then this nebula became bigger and bigger. And once it became bigger, its mass or the total matter it had increased. So a bigger nebula, by eating up smaller nebula, collected lot of mass within it, and because of this increase in mass, friction and pressure increased in the core of nebula. Because of this friction, heat also increased in the core of nebula. Because of this heat and pressure in the core of nebula, one important reaction started forming, and that reaction is called as nuclear fusion reaction. So what happened in the core? Hydrogen gas which was present in the core, because of high temperature and pressure, started fusing into helium, and this is the first step in the formation of a star. And this type of star where nuclear fusion reaction begins is called as protostar. And this protostar started continuously growing in size by attracting more smaller nebula towards it. And because of increase in size, pressure and temperature further increased in its core. And because of this temperature and pressure, more and more hydrogen was converting into helium. And once this nuclear fusion reaction reached a stable point, a star was born. This is the process through which stars are born. And this is the process through which sun, which is also a star, has been created. Sun was created through nuclear fusion reaction. Today, the sun produces energy through nuclear fusion reaction. Let me tell you one fact. Every second, sun converts 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium. And sun has been doing this for the past 4.8 billion years. This is the process through which stars were created. And what are galaxies? Galaxies basically contain stars and other components, right? And galaxy apart from these components contain hydrogen gas and cosmic dust. And galaxies are spinning, and there are billions of galaxies in universe. I hope I have tried to explain to you in simple language what is the process that led to the formation of the universe and what is the process that creates or brings stars to life. Thank you for watching the video, and if you have any doubts, please post them in comment section. I will try to answer them. Until next time, take care.